Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The Hyper.
And welcome back yet again, ladies and gentlemen, to the ECAC, where today we got some more Valorant action coming at your faces. I will be one recaster for the evening, Ravish, the most ravishing man on the internet. Joined here by my side by the ever so condescent possible. What's up, Paul?
Ooh, was that condescent? That's
Yeah.
a fancy word you're bringing on in there, Ravish, but I'd have it no other way. We're going to have a great match of Valorant here tonight, and I couldn't be more excited to be here. Ravish, whatever your name is. Whoever you are.
It doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that my name from this on forward will be one of the teams that we got coming up here today, which will be CSUMB, and you can be their opponent's PC. We're irrelevant. What matters are the players, Paul. And
That's
exactly what we're here to focus on today. But yeah, I'm Ravish. This is Paul. Please know us. Thanks.
I think. Okay, we got it covered now. Let's talk about our two teams though, because we've got California State University, Monterey Bay, which is a bit of a mouthful, versus Providence College, the Friars is what they like to go by. And both these teams currently sitting at 2-0. At least the Providence College, the Friars, they clobbered their game last week. They were kind enough to stream their own, make their own little stream since they weren't here on our official ECAC stream. And I watched that. They played against Ball State. It was like 13-2, 13-1. So I'm excited to watch this team go against another team that's, I believe, currently undefeated. Maybe give themselves a bit more of a challenge.
That's exactly what we want to see, right? Just the back and forth between these rounds is, and the adaptation that comes forth when an opponent is able to accurately read what the other side wants to possibly execute. That's where I find Valorant becomes the absolutely most exciting.
Absolutely.
Getting into the mind of who you're up against. And the FGC, we call that downloading somebody. And I don't know about you, I believe both these guys are pretty empty hard drives, and they're ready to go ahead and fill it up with the opponents here today. But let's start off with what they need to know first with those maps.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, moving on to what maps we're going to be playing on, keep in mind, folks, it's a best of 3. You take 2 maps, you take the win here in this match. And California State, I think they've gotten off to a pretty they got a head start on that download that you were looking for. The ban on Icebox, I think, is a great idea. That's one of the maps that Providence College showed last week that they are extremely proficient on. It was a 13-1 victory on Icebox against Ball State. So great first ban by them. And I mean, this is as wild of a map selection as I've had the pleasure of seeing in a while. We're going to start on Breeze, then go to Split, and end on Ascent of all things. Normally we start on Ascent, especially for collegiate Valorant. These teams all love Ascent, but we're not getting there unless we go the distance.
I'm personally just waiting for the day that one of these teams pick Fracture. I'm just waiting. It is in the map pool, so is Haven too, but they both decided to play it a little bit safer. I don't know about y'all, bro. Fracture is a great map. Like, it is fantastic. I know I may be one of the minorities in that opinion, but I enjoy it very much. But Fracture isn't here today.
I don't disagree. The problem is Fracture is the newest map, and especially for collegiate Valorant, where these guys, you know, they've got 18 credit hours or whatever crazy stuff they got to do with college. Yeah. Maybe some of them even have jobs. They don't have time to practice Fracture. Instead, they're just going to go with what they know. And first map they know is going to be onto Breeze. I think we're just going to head right on in, Ravish. Let's get this started.
Yes, sir. Teams are ready to go. We're ready to go. Prod's ready to go as well. So let's head on into our first map of the night. It is BO3 for the ECAC between CSUMB and PC. We're waiting for ours and for everybody else. It's had all perfectly timed here. Us ready to go. Look, down.
It was very well done. It was very well done. I was proud of you for that moment. While we're getting into map here, let's talk about our first map of Breeze, right? Because outside of Fracture, the map we're not going to see for another 6 months in actual competitive Valorant here in Collegiate, let's be honest. Breeze is more or less the newest map to Valorant in a realistic sense. It's the newest map that teams are actually starting to get comfortable with playtime on. But it's a very wide open map. It's hard to actually make defense very solid on this map to lock teams out of a site. You really need that Viper. Love that we're already seeing that from Friars on the defensive side. And I mean, they're also pairing it with a Sage, which I think can be a little bit hit or miss. You get a lot of halls control, and you have the ability to wall people out at B main or tunnel over on the B side. It can get a little tricky beyond that.
Select your agent.
Like you mentioned, yeah, I find the comps within Breeze like definitely don't vary a ton. You know, the most that people really kind of play around with is what they want for info, whether it be the Cypher or the Killjoy. I find Sova can be excluded depending on what your comfort level is with the agent, though. But like you were mentioning, yeah, Breeze, I've consistently stated, it is a heavily attacker-sided map. If you manage to get onto a site, which more often than not is usually a 5v5 take, then consistently, you know, spike goes down, and that's all up to the defending team to see how they're able to actually play around what can be very, very wide open but very tight corners. So communication, I find, it is also where things become key. But Paul, we're finally on in BC versus CSUMB. CSUMB, as you can see, will be attacking right up at the front, and let's see. Let's set up some pistol rounds. It should be nice, fun, and aggressive, hopefully.
Rather similar compositions as well. I'm a little bit nervous for CSU for California here. They're not opting for a Sova or a Sky. Information gathering a lot of the time is extremely important, so you're banking a lot on Aqua Azul's ability to get something out of the camera on the attacking side. Now, that is the point of taking a Cypher. He is the Sentinel that works a little bit better on the attack, so not at all like an Achilles heel by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly more difficult to execute on.
It's exactly like you mentioned. It's a Cypher camera, too, depending on where it's placed, and it can be like really solid, but it'll really depend if they manage to get any tags off it at all, which the Goldar does right now is taking a couple tags himself. They put out the smoke right up at the beginning as all CSU pushing towards a defensive info and hallway, but instead they decide they don't want the beginning of the smoke. They likely spider a lot of the members of Providence, so they decide, hey, B seems to be the head as you see two of them rotating over.
Love the control from the Friars. Making sure to keep halls. Halls is so important across the map. If you control halls, you can control the entire map of Breeze. Providence stacking 3 players there early to make sure that California couldn't just rush their way up into such a vulnerable and valuable position. But California, they're actually coming back. They know they've baited a bit of a rotate. One of them does get spotted. Poetic getting on out of there, but committing the wall now. They're going to go for this.
Like you said, the camera gets put out right at the beginning, too, trying to fight against Pop. That trip, wire, but Spike's not gone down as of yet. 30 seconds left to go, still a lot of time. We were talking about before. It comes out of the 5v5. But these can be very, very tight peaks yet again. As Eternal already gets the best of them, and Pete on the back end that gets the second. As it becomes a 3v5 out of the site, CSU have to find a way to somehow get off site and be able to defend the spike, but they just get taken down one after another. And Pete with the final.
What a disciplined retake from Providence. They were just a mob there the entire time. All 5 players moving in unison across the map as well. Like early on, the second someone gets spotted toward A, everybody comes over. Then everybody spread back out across. The communication seemed very clean from Friars. I'm hoping we can keep that as we move on to even more valuable rounds. Moving to the second round now. No force here from CSUMB, despite the fact that they were able to plant. I mean, a force is just so risky. There's no need to gamble your economy this early in the game.
And especially because, like, it's the first round, right? There's no need to, like, just decide that you want to take off anywhere as there's a plane leaving beside my window currently.
Honestly.
On the back end, though, there's a camera. Oh, manages to get spot 1 taken out immediately by Elise. That'll give them a little bit of vision.
I really do like the control that Providence are focusing on this A site right now. Between the wall, as well as several players watching halls. Got to be careful of halls, though. There is that poison orb. I think we're going to have one sneaking out the Viper. Poetic Oh, not quite able to find the timing on the gold art.
Close peek there to the beginning, and with him going down, Zatura is a little more confident, decided to take the peek right in between the wall, hold on the back and get to the pick with that shock dart as they're going back and forth with this. Zatura they still have all the utils, so they could easily push in as CSU decide they don't want the smoke currently. Instead of go through halls yet again, Goldar finds out one. But a classic up against a Spectre. It is a dangerous trade as they're both decent, especially with that right now. Yep, bye-bye. And that's Spike down on 4.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be pretty low odds that CSUMB were going to be able to do much of anything in this round.
Yeah.
Now they know where the last player is standing. That's Nanolith doesn't have nearly enough health to make anything happen here. Flawless, though, for Friars. And that means not only is this bonus round going to be extremely comfortable, they're going to have all 5 of the Spectres that they bought into that first round, or into that second round, rather. But it means they can deal maximum economic damage to CSU and then potentially snowball that even further. I mean, look how padded their economic bank is right now as the Friars. It's going to be nasty.
And considering that CSU right now, right, it's like, you gotta make this round count. As naturally as with the third round, it all like pretty much all full bot. A Phantom on Breeze, something that I'll never agree with, but I understand if you're what you're comfortable with, personally. But hey, everybody's allowed to have opinions as, oh, that dart gets the ping on 2. So now we should see a couple of rotations coming over from mid.
And it seems to be the same alien default here from CSUMB, despite the fact that they've moved on to their gun round now. Goldart is going to get slightly baited, though. Both those shock darts with Goldart's now completely out of utility, right? So fighting into these 2 actual rifles in halls, a very difficult task. Meanwhile, Pete, though, is doing pretty well.
Okay, my man actually manages to win the trade, but Poetic was ready to take the peek. On the back, and his door was completely open. He dashes back and forth. Nice shot with the Marshall from Boyd. As he makes a 3v2 into halls, that leads to the back end. Looking to clear 9 up. They know exactly where they are. Still 2v1, but they got to spot him. Do they know where he is? I think they have no idea, but they have the spike control, so they cap that. They're fine.
Nanolith has gotten overhealed, which means at least participated in 1 kill. There should be some semblance of information for the Friars, but they've moved out into a main, into the cave. They've recovered actual rifles. This is no longer a bonus round for Friars. They have guns, and Nanolith is going to need an insane 1v2 here. Has to find some way to isolate these kills. Oh, couldn't quite find the headshot, though. And now you're just out of time.
He has the leer. If he just rushes in, maybe he kills both of them all at once. It could be not too bad, but there for leer, though, shoots out one eye and the other will respond. There's Boy with the final.
Very classic crossfire there from Providence. The long player of Zotters took the contact, just put the leer out as well, which kept Nanolith's attention on the long side of cave, not towards the little tunnel there. And then it's just a really easy swing for Boy. Great 3 rounds thus far from Friars.
This goes here.
And they're going to keep that snowball going. An economic advantage firmly in their hands now, and a eco round for CSUMB.
3-0 to start off. We were talking about how good the Friars look in the previous round, how they were able to handily take those first 2 maps, and right now, although a strong start, but CSU is by no means out of it either. If they can actually kill at least 3 people on this save, I think they were done their job. As there we go, there's only 2 more to go. But at the back at 2, immediately fall. Nice straight kills from Providence. As they find them all mid, rushing it one after another. Just CSUMB left. There's 1 player, being Baitlin. He has all his utils.
So done.
And line up. No.
Yeah. There's nothing that Baitlin can do there. You're being rushed from every side. They have actual rifles. That doesn't come down to Baitlin. That was just a hard eco round for CSUMB. They're gonna have guns again though. They're pretty close to some key ultimates. They have the Empress online, but one of the things about this composition, especially when you're running the Cypher instead of the Sova, is you don't have really a power ultimate. We're going to throw this ult out, it's going to win us the round. The Sova gets you that in the Hunter's Fury. Not that the Neural Theft is bad, but it's more situational, right? So even if Aqua Azul can pick up the Neural Theft, it doesn't necessarily guarantee you a round win or have even high odds of guaranteeing you a round win.
I want you to watch Gold out here. I was about to say, man has the same lineup and the same stance for 4 rounds in a row. CSU, I thought by now they would have been like, hey, maybe we shouldn't peek this or flash this, but unfortunate. Maybe just put it out earlier just to test them on the back end, though. That nice first pick. And they know they're pushing towards A.
Ooh. Okay, there we go. Traded it out of 4v4. Still a lot of the site to actually clean out, though, for CSUMB, and they don't have much position. The other struggle about their composition is you really only have the rain of flashes to get you onto the site, and those can be easily counteracted by Zotter's own, using a Lear to swing through. Doesn't quite get the pick, but still has a strong position here. Most of the site belongs to Friars.
This wall right now is just doing so much work for CSU to make sure they all stay alive, and then because that's a sure with a swing. The question is, they at least get the trade back to there's the Empress pop you talking about before here, Paul. One after one, just keep on falling. Empress doing a ton of work in Baitland, getting his revenge the previous round.
That was a good round from CSUMB. I was a little bit worried about the amount of control they had relative to their toxic screen, but they toggled it very well. Nanolith was able to take advantage of the timing on that wall dropping to threaten and keep Providence looking every different direction. Providence were unable to synchronize their swings and their trades, so CSUMB were able to just pick them apart. Good round. It keeps CSUMB's feet under them for now. Their economy is still looking a bit tenuous, though. They need one more round here, Ravish.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. But the fact that most of them managed to stay alive the previous one, they actually get one ping out of that, actually. And I'm sure they sensed a little bit more as Golden. Yet again, they didn't peek it. I'm happy, but look at this. Flag from Zatura. Ooh, choose to go for the heal and the res on the back end at least. Now we're a 5v4 man advantage for CSU.
The heal was maybe a little bit greedy there. A dismiss, I think, would have gotten you another pick. And now, I mean, CSUMB, they have control of the entire map. A neural theft gets them the enemy locations. Doesn't give them too much actionable intel. But they can just smoke this off and head to A. There's nobody on this side of the map.
That Lear actually did so much work for them, actually allowing them to go in through doors, though. But like you mentioned, A, it's a target. Nobody did it at all yet again. It's where they've gone consistently. And as Poetic expands her Ryoiki Tenkai, or domain expansion, should have control of the entire site.
Are we still doing the Jujutsu Kaisen references?
Of course we are, bro.
Okay, good to know. Ooh, that was a clean little swing from Mort. Too bad Nanolith was there on the close angle, ready to pick that up. And I mean, there's no way that Boy can actually take this now. Exit frags, not a terrible idea, all things considered. There's still enough economy for Providence to where even if Boy loses his rifle here, going to be buying next round without too much of an issue. And I mean, whether Boy gets a kill or dies here, they'll have the Blade Storm available. Okay. Blade Storm going to be given to him via a bullet to the head. But the Blade Storm is up now, right? So Friars, they'll get one more round comfortably to where they can buy up, use the Blade Storm as an economic buffer. Presumably Boy will toss his buddy a rifle. Maybe? Maybe he'll get a little greedy there. Okay, Judge. Yeah. So now it should be... No? Are they just saving this? Wow.
I mean, like, it's kind of a half buy, essentially, right?
Yeah, it's a light buy. All right, sure. I actually kind of like that. I think that
is a Guardian.
I think that is the highest percentage of the long game in terms of the economy, right? But it does mean CSUMB, if they run just straight onto B, hard to imagine this doesn't go well for them unless Boy does something nasty.
This is why we said before, Ooh. As Boy starting off with something nasty right away. This is why we said, though, as soon as we're able to enter onto a site, this map becomes very attacker-sided. Oh, he actually managed to live.
Well, okay, but does fire with the Judge? So now CSUMB, they know that there is a Judge on this site. So between the toxic screens of the defenders and that pick opening up the map a little bit in mid, I don't expect CSUMB to full commit to this B push, but they're actually not rotating. They're confident that they can fight this, Ravish.
Because it's actually get the flank off here, too, considering they have all the util One pick could actually. Ooh,
Nice.
Balin was ready for that. Good peek there. But anticipating it too, considering they hadn't found out where everybody was. Now B still
30
seems to be the
seconds
take, as instead they decide, oh, okay, there you go. Is it a rotate, Paul?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for. They were maybe just watching to see if Boy would poke his head out one more time so they could finish that kill off, but not going to be the case. Instead, they're going to book it to the other side of the map. They've left one, actually, all the way over toward B. That can end up being a pretty nasty lurk.
Aqua Azul managing the spike down too, and also has the op in their hand. So if they find a good spot to post out, likely maybe looking down onto Sniper's Bridge.
look
They
at Boy.
could like also kick them off, but yeah, he said Boy on the back end. He's looking for this. He has that judge. We talked about that judge game before. They don't know. They don't know.
Oh.
But no, it's not enough. He wasn't close enough. Oh, you poor soul. They got traded out one after another. The Guardian can't even do any work. As more. Okay. He gets one. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, nice pickup there onto Poetic, but I mean, Poetic lurking through the double doors there was always going to guarantee the round win unless Boy still had the dash and was able to just completely clobber Baitlin. And even if Boy gets that pick, it could draw some attention, but it's still very unlikely that Friars walk away with that round. They'll need this one. Not only is this round important for Providence because they have 4 ults, but also they want to keep CSUMB from tying them. And this is the last vestige of Friars' economy for quite a while. So, between these 4 ultimates, we need to see something pretty good.
Revealing area.
That recon dart. Oh. Doesn't get the spot this time. Not going to just immediately go for the Hunter's Fury.
Good call by them. I would have actually expected for Providence to actually just
Here it is.
Viper up right at B, but there you go. That's one tag that gets to limit 70 damage. Force out
Nice.
the dash too. So at least they know that he is gonna get in the hit.
You'll take that if you're Teen, though. Not so much Poetic. Opens the door and just gets demolished. Got an op. Nice shot there. It does take one body shot on the way out the door, though. So this isn't necessarily easy. Oh, Pete. Oh, poor guy.
Oh
Didn't
man,
have a
up
chance
against
3 people.
Yeah, just unfortunate. The triple peak is low-key OP as Wall gets put down Spike yet again in the ground here, right here on Breeze here. Now, Boy left, although no Blade Storm, we still do have the Viper Spit if they wanted to just put it out. But they just don't have enough semblance of control to just
Don't really want to
actually
use the Viper's Bit here. You'd rather save it for the next gun round. There's still quite a few rounds in this half. Mort can just charge in, try to keep CSUMB's economy relatively in check. But I mean, that's 4 in a row. CSUMB, they are living in money now. They're straight up Scrooge McDucking right now.
They can slap them with their wallets, essentially. Well, just with just how rich they are. And the attacking op is actually working out pretty well for them, considering the overall success rate, other than just getting onto the site and then post plan.
And I think it's it adds a little bit more confidence for Teen as well, right? Halls is something that CSUMB, despite the amount of resistance they've met, they have refused to not start in Halls. Look at this. Even right now, Teen posting up right here, looking for gold art. Instead, it is a bit of a swap this time from the Friars. They've switched this up, and it's Zotter who is snuck by the switch. I think just as a sheriff. Still good for that first one, though.
Not bad at all. Not able to get the rifle off of it, but the fact that he even managed to get one is impressive.
Oh, don't repeat that. Oh, gotta leer at
No,
least.
it's just the off shot. And yeah, they knew Boy was there for the back end, so like, there's no way he wasn't going down though. But 1 for 1, at least making it a 4 for 4. And Providence get this round, this will be actually such a huge win. So don't do it. Don't peek that again, bro. You are going to die. It is not worth it. And P decides to finally pull the trigger. There we go. Okay.
That's nice.
And
You can
that's the
recover
op
that
as well.
now, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
if
big.
nothing else, you keep this op for exits out cave, right? But no, actually, Pete's going to push that. Good luck, buddy. Ooh, so close.
Maybe not.
Mort
Maybe
not
decide to
doing
just
bad, though. I
aggressively
mean,
push it.
considering that this is eco for Providence, it's not going terribly.
Player standing.
They managed to get rid of quite a few rifles. Goldart recovers one of his own, so can save that going into the next round. I mean, it's not enough to really matter, considering how late we're getting into the half. CSUMB would find it hard to not buy for the remaining 3 rounds that we have. Considering, I mean, look at Teen. Look at Teen. That's 9K.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of moolah here, my friend. It's
Quite a bit.
yeah. And consider he has the op in his hands too. Doesn't even have to really save since they were able to recover that. He's feeling very A-okay as we're trying to look yet again and posturing towards the B side. Now, last time this happened, it didn't go too great for them, but boy, in that exact same position.
This time with a Vandal, though. It's hard to play these close angles with Vandals. Oh, the swing here. The timing is everything.
Ooh, okay, gets one. Lyra put out, smoke to put away, but he just can't recover in time. Oh no, unfortunate. I don't think he actually dashed out either. Felt pretty confident about being able to swing back and right away. Wait, 3 just went down. B-side's cleared out. Just 2 people. That was CSU. Wow.
Great round from CSU. I mean, they're going to have a hard time losing this now, especially they know where 1 is. Yeah, I mean, again, Mort has done a good job of, like, trying to trade in these late rounds, like, in the post plants, but the fact of the matter is that Friars just haven't been set up in the last 6 rounds to confidently take these retakes. They're losing too much early. Off great pushes from CSU. They time their push out mid, exactly with their 1 on site. So overwhelmed are the defense. When you have that res available too, it gives you a lot of confidence to play aggressive. You can take trades. You can even trade badly and still end up in an advantageous position as long as you do your job and clear out the entire site. CSU, it didn't matter how many players they lost there as long as they traded it and had the site. They managed to do so, and now no matter what, I mean, they're at least going to be tied up here. Oh, and that's unfortunately just a Marshall. And yeah, that's how that goes.
Yeah, you're up against that big boy gun there, so I don't know how much pressure you would have been able to have if you needed to land that flake and right and get the headshot immediately. If you had hope of taking it out of their hands, Pete is in some dangerous waters, and it's put down with the shorty. Providence only 2 people in their hands, and a spike going down. I think the most they can do right now is just try to rush it on to say and see what they can get.
Gold
Hey, that's 1.
That's 1. That's an op dropped at least. Don't have to worry about that. Quite a bit of utility as well, too, for Gold Art. Gets the ping on an Nanolith. This is still doable, Ravish. It's just very difficult.
It's what we think, like you were mentioning. And with the op being down, though, so they don't have that immediate pressure of just, like, being one shot from every angle. But they're all just hiding and just waiting for spike, bro. This is, like, this is what you should be doing. And, ooh, Azul with a nice little peek. Right timing on that. Going up in the... I respect it.
Yeah. I mean, especially... And that's one of the reasons you can bring a Sage here on Breeze so confidently, even though it's such an open map, right? It feels a little bit counterintuitive with Sage. You know, you want to have good choke points, but you can create your own choke points with the wall because of how a lot of these angles on site work out, right? So the wall that Baitland puts up there, it completely shuts off one side of the map, and because it wasn't a full economy for Friars, they didn't really have a chance to just run on, break it. All right, not a worry, we can retake from all the angles necessary now. Moving into the last round of the half.
This is it.
Ooh, there we go.
I thought he might even take that peek, though, but at least for now, Providence waking up a little bit to get in 2 big initial picks. And Spike being dropped that early on. They will call over all the rotations that they possibly have to make sure they can just lock CSUMB in. Let's handle the hallway. Zera getting a little bit confident with the spray? Yeah, he must know there's somebody there. It is. Yeah, there you go. Excuse him.
Teen does have dash, but there's not really anywhere good for Teen to go with that dash. All right. Ooh. Mort dying is kind of critical there. Pete's on the flank there. No one's going to expect Pete there this early.
No idea, too. And Mort also had the Viper's Pit as well, too. So it would have been a use to probably locked on the site, considering his last round. But it's still 3v2. CSUMB can very much come back into this as a site. Spec will be dropped. There we go. Though no real ultimates to be heard of, so all their youths are very much in their hand.
One of the great use of the wall here by Baitland. You hear 2 guns from mid. The res is available, though. CSUMB. It's them against 4. Only 2 to stand. Lear used. Nice close catch, though. It's just a close range blind. Nanolith trading at a distance. Boy coming around. Trying to hit the headbutts out of knives, though. Right click doesn't lock it down, but Gold Art will.
Okay. I thought for a second, I was like, yo, is he actually going to be able to clutch it out? But they're both caught in the middle of relay. I thought they might have just like shot away all the knives there were, but a 5-7 for Providence, who started this like game off around 4-0. I think just speaks to the ability of CSUMB on the second half. But we've been saying consistently, Paul, attacker-sided map is what we're on right now.
Yeah, I think all things considered, CSUMB are okay with how that half went, right? It started off 0-4 from them, and they made a strong recovery, punishing some of the habits that Friars had and adapting a few of their own. Once they realized they couldn't just waltz out into the hallway, I think it started going a lot better for CSUMB. They got the poison orb much deeper without issues. They forced Gold Art to rotate around the map, and it gave them more flexibility.
Which is the biggest thing. Now, if Providence managed to pick up these two pistols, then suddenly they'll go in the next half pretty much just on a 1-to-1 scale against CSU, as if nothing really happened, and going pretty even here too would be really nice. But as is a nice aggressive mid push, while it gets put down, they're just rushing onto the site. They have to clear a couple of people. Okay, drops it, immediately gets one, and there's the second. You're going into the cage when you shot your friend. All right, a bold play nonetheless, and at least Providence with one more person. Oh no! Wow,
that was certainly questionable.
Yeah,
from Providence, and especially considering I was hoping they would have something a little bit more spicy. This is Providence's map pick. The Friars wanted to go to Breeze first, so to see an attacking pistol where you just run through the doors, you don't get hallway control, you don't have anyone threatening from cave or moving up the middle of the map to threaten a flank. Extremely questionable. Now they're going to force on this second round. What a gamble that Friars are going for here, and they're running straight into Viper.
Yeah, they know how important this round is for them, because if they lose this, and suddenly they're 5-9, and this is where the map might potentially get away from them. And
Friars, they just struggled on that execute too. They used a Leer, and then the Snakebite came out in the decay. Right, you're never gonna rush that. Oh, Baitlin. They have to clear this.
This could be big.
No way!
Man, I was like, yo, if my man gets 2, then he's done his job. That's so big, right? We're in the 4v3, and they managed to get one more on the back end of the team. Trying to clean up as much as they can, but it's up inside. Up in Sniper's Nest. Sees where the planter doesn't clear the angle below him, so they pick up our Gold Art. As a swing from Poetic does not go in their way. Just boy left with 36 health. Good luck to you, soldier.
And gives away his position too. Poetic's gonna come around. Oh, okay. We got it. Took a second. But yeah, again, Providence just seems so hasty on these attacking rounds. CSUMB are doing a great job of just locking them out with utility and catching some cheeky timings and positions. One of the things about Breeze, it's a very map control dependent map, right? So when Poetic is able to just throw in one Snakebite, completely shut down the planned execute from Friars, where they used 2 great pieces of utility for getting onto a site. And keep in mind, they likely didn't have a second Leer or an Owl drone or anything else for information. Providence used their entry onto site and got locked down by just one molly from Poetic. Then they had to run across the map, and they ran straight into Baitlin. Very difficult for Providence to pull that off. CSUMB, they haven't invested their whole economy into this round, so it basically just becomes a delayed anti-eco. So not impossible for Providence to flip this, but certainly difficult, Ravish. Oh,
but hey,
that's nice.
That's when we started off.
And take those.
Yeah, getting that first pick too is all just trading shots back and forth in the hallway.
The one issue is that's a very long angle to deal with, right? So Teen is going to recover this gun. Nobody else can get there, and that gives time for CSUMB to find the flank. Yeah, great work.
Paul, they're all dead.
Exactly.
Of them just died like immediately. Trying to fight inside of hallway. Just like you were mentioning, very, very long angles, and if you don't land those consistent flicks from that sheriff,
and now there's a real problem, right? The spike's been dropped down the vent. So you gotta either go down the vent or waltz out into mid where you have no information because Pete and Goldart are the only two standing. They've been in hall the entire time.
So many bad jokes I want to make, but I'm going to control myself as we see Nettle lift. If he gets the swing there, yep, there's one more. He really gets the heal as well. So, oh yeah, I was about to say it. There's no way he doesn't get this.
Yeah. Goldart, I think, was just working with the ghost there, so would have need to have hit the double headshot more or less to even get that kill. And from there, I mean, if Baitland was around the corner, would have cleaned that up regardless. We get our first full gun round of the half for both of our teams, presumably. CSUMB, keep in mind, these haven't been the most, like, comfortable bonus rounds for them, so they are hurting a little bit. They're going to roll into this round with 2 Spectres, it seems. Still more or less a gun round for them, though. I mean, Spectres are pretty good, especially if you're playing the right angles.
But speaking of angles, too, we'll see the Sage Wall likely just deny one large one.
This can get a little risky, though, because you need to time this wall right. And now, I mean, you're just stuck. Baitland's stuck here.
He can move absolutely nowhere, too. He does with those 2 slow orbs. I was about to say, if he gets the swing, he manages to wins the trade. Immediately, and that's both layers put out as well. So suddenly, the ways of entering the site right now for Providence are limited so excruciatingly. And Poetic, too, puts out all the walls and everything. And they have full control of the site right now, Paul.
In no universe should Baitland survive there, trapped in that corner, but Providence are too nervous to try and swing it. Instead, they're going to go out in the mid where they have so little information. Trading 1-for-1's okay, but... Okay, that's better. Okay, now that Teen's dead, you can just pick a site. As long as you don't die 3v1, this can go pretty well for them.
Considering there's 1 defender per site as right now. But... Nano actually could potentially flank them, should hear them getting it onto the site, though. Both are still available. Stops the plant. That's big. That's going res in the back end as well. So now suddenly what was a 3v1 now turns into a 2v2. Although Spike recovered, Nano has the complete angle. And there you go. There, now it goes down.
Okay. Viper's Pit 2, that'll help. CSUMB, they will have a neural theft, so if they can get one of these players, the other one will certainly die. Goldart does a good job holding down the fort to start, though.
Last player standing.
So let's 2v1 is just a Viper. I've seen a lot of clutches like this, and just as I say that, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, like, man, more probably got it. He's easy inside the pay, manages to get out. No, that's it. CSUMB taking a stranglehold of the second half.
Yeah, Mort was just so low on health there. Goldart trying to challenge a little bit too ambitiously, I think. Once you get that first pick, once you've lurked out of the Viper's Pit, I think the more safe play is to stay inside. Admittedly, if Goldart gets 2 there, re-peeking out the pit, looks like a genius. So, you know, hard for me to fault him. The problem is, out of the last 12 rounds, 11 of them have gone to CSU. This has been so unbelievably dominant since they've gotten warmed up, Ravish.
Wild. Absolutely wild. With the kind of execution they've been able to put out. And CSU, with this option, we saw how much control they were able to have on the attacking side. Yeah, you know what, bro? I understand. Look, Valorant is a horror game. I might have got scared too. It's like, oh, yo, butterfly. Shoot. I don't know. Okay. If Cole actually swings your 2, might be able to get the pick.
No, you can't. You can't. You've heard the op shot out mid from Teen, so there's no way Gold is swinging into an op that is undoubtedly watching him.
I'm swinging, but that's also why I'm silver.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ravish, just because you take that fight doesn't mean it's a good fight.
Define good. You know what? I'm gonna waste any more time on this as they enter in onto the site. The spec should go down pretty immediately. But we finally have our first 5v5 reaching at the round. Just make that now make that 4v4. The Guardian Gaming comes out to play finally for Pete. Very, very excited. I'll show you back and forth, but they're all locked into one. Like nice little corners. They're just getting gunned down. Aquazul managed to get one more, but it's him 1v3. If he manages to get pure 1v1s, this could be big, but boy, with a swing.
Yeah, Zotter dying there, or I'm sorry, not Zotters, but Nanolith rather, dying there pretty much is the end of that retake before it starts. You need Lears, on either site for Breeze. The reason a lot of people are running either Reyna or Skye is because the flashes are either versatile on the Skye, which isn't an issue. We have no Skies here, but Reyna's stick around. They will Lear the entire site. Anybody who dares to enter from any direction, as long as they can see the Lear, will get flashed. But with Nanolite swinging through for that 1-for-1 trade, it means there's no other way for CSUMB to comfortably retake.
With the wall being broken down right at the beginning, we see this yet again, this Judge potential. As it gets spotted out, they know it's here. But he will have to run away. I was about to say, Yuan actually gets out of that alive. Luckily, the cage and the wall save him. As the spike goes down, we gotta get back to a 5v5. The two already there. Bailey gets one on the back of it. Can't swing to get the second, unfortunately. As Keen with only a Marshall right out in the open, we could take it down just as quick. Now to 2v4. P. If he doesn't check this angle,
neither of these players are going to push until maybe Nanolith will push it once it starts getting way down in the round, but easy fight for Pete. Nanolith still gets one, so it's not terrible here. But at the end of the day, that's not enough economic damage as far as CSUMB were concerned, and suddenly Providence, they're back within, a reasonable distance of CSUMB. Still a very difficult map for them to try and pull back. But the economy for CSUMB is a little bit rough right now. One more gun round put up here off the back of the 4 ults they're currently working with. And suddenly, Friars is back in this, and we're talking about a comeback.
4 ults on both ends. Now, in my mind... What?
CSUMB have to... Oh, wait. Oh, my word. Ravish, I'm so dumb. I was looking at the wrong team's economies.
No, I don't disagree with you, but okay, but I do like that you explained as to why you may have a lapse in judgment.
So my point stands. It's just earlier than I thought. This is the eco round rather than the next gun round.
It's fine. You know what? I was gonna wait. I didn't want to say nothing because I was like, Paul, they got marshals. But like, you just seem so confident in your point. I didn't want to disappoint you, fam. Nonetheless, though.
Ravish was ready for me to just look completely dumb to everyone, and I was just gonna let that ride.
But you sounded good while doing it, which is the essence of casting. Nonetheless, there's a 3v2 on the side. I think your point may still be right. That they managed to get one more pick. That solid. They can just continue to take these fights. Now let these one more pick. Probably get the heal up to. They have the AR. There we go. There it is. They get the heal. Okay, finally. I think it's cornered them onto the site. He's not looking. He doesn't know. He may see it. We're for the sake. 9 health. Caps it. Does he get it? No. The match point.
All right, so now I got a flippity flop on my flippity flopped point. CSU, they pull off the thrifty. Out of nowhere, they come right back into that site. Nanolize, what huge entry, right? We saw the difference that Nanolize being alive made on a retake 4B. You get even one Lear out, the amount of guessing that Friars then has to do, considering they only had 2 players alive in that situation, is insane. Both Goldart and Mort had difficult tasks. They had to check so many open angles and slowly swing around the pillar or out from that back sight. And it's difficult to do when the Lear locks you down and you can't take those gunfights. Stop them on the entry at the chokes where you want them. Now we're on map point for CSUMB. Oh, that's an okay trade to start off.
What matters is that they got it. But Viper's Pit's still available for CSUMB, although they haven't decided to use it kind of preemptively. This pick, I think, should just spell the end of the round, Paul. Spike down, just gold on left. He would have to come up so large to make this count, but he said it yet again. All these open angles and him cornered from 3 different ends will give CSUMB the first round. It is BO3.
A solid start from CSUMB. I mean, they had control of that game pretty much the whole time. There were like 2 small streaks where Providence put a few in a row on the board, but the adaptations were relatively rapid from CSUMB. I think the most they struggled in an adaptation was realizing that hallway was harder for them to control than they anticipated. Once they realized that and were able to either force their way down with use of like the operator that we saw from Teen or the poison orb lobbed all the way down the hallway to stop Goldart from getting anything crazy, or they just moved to the other side of the map, faked a little bit on that hallway, and then got some good pressure B. I think the attacking side is certainly what made this game for CSUMB.
Hugely so, and even on the defensive half, they looked very, very strong on their end. But this is a BO3, and we do have Split up next. But that is also the pick of CSUMB, which is the biggest thing. So I think things could go either way. I'm just happy we're seeing Split. I personally love Split. But one thing I also love, Paul, is Lenovo.
Yes, Lenovo Legion knows you play to win, folks. To stand out from the competition, you need equipment that matches the speed of your thoughts and actions. The Legion Y25 monitor delivers wins in the most toughest, difficult, and critical situations. With its extreme 1 millisecond response time to its insane 240 hertz refresh rate, the Legion Y25 doesn't just keep up, but does a lot more. Built for those engaged in vast multiplayer battles at the tournament level, the Legion Y25 offers a 24.5 inch FHD IPS panel with built-in NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility. The Legion Y25 monitor is available at Lenovo.com and other fine retailers.
I'm shocked I haven't bought mine yet, but you know what? We'll
Shame
go to a
on you.
short break,
You gotta
and
get
when we
one.
come back, I'm gonna do it right now. We're going to a short break, and when we come back, I'm gonna be back with my Lenovo. See you on the other end of it.
Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out to finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally.
And welcome back yet again, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Valorante action. Ravaging about possible yet again. And we just saw what was a very fun, not a little bit of one-sided map number 1 on Breeze between CSUMB and PC. Talk to me about that, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, it was a relatively solid map from both teams, but ultimately, obviously, one team has to win. CSUMB picked that up 13-7. They certainly looked like the team that was quicker to adaptations, and those adaptations were more solid, right? I'm thinking about that hallway control that I've already talked about a bit, but if you're just joining back, the first few rounds did not go well. It was 4-0 to start in favor of Friars. CSUMB then altered their game plan just a little bit to not charge so headlong into a strong position for the defense, and it started to go better from there. And despite one little stumble for like 2 or 3 rounds later on their defense, pretty dominant map from CSUMB, and that was Friars' map pick as well. So now we move on to Split, our second map in this best of 3. California's got to be feeling pretty good, Ravish.
I imagine so, but consider they're starting off on the defense, right? I know Split to be, of course, a defender-sided map more often than not. After changes, I think it's gotten a little bit more even, right?
It's still pretty defender-sided, though. Let's be honest. Let's keep that. Let's keep it 100 right now. Like, you can change Split as much as you want, but unless you completely remove the map, it's gonna be defender-sided.
Okay, all right. I forgot you were an actual Valorant dev, so you're just out here being like,
yeah. I mean, well, and when it comes to Split, there's 2 main things that keep it so defender-sided, right? The narrowness of chokes and options for attacking teams, and the complete dominance of high ground over both sites. Both sites, rather. Because if an attacking team on A or B doesn't get control of the respective heaven environments, then you are working at a disadvantage in so many critical gunfights, and a retake becomes much more easy for the defending team. And it's difficult to wrestle away control of A heaven specifically, right? B can get a little bit more easy. You can work your way up through mid and male, but it's certainly a literal uphill battle, I suppose, pun not intended there for once in my life, for an attacking team on Split.
The biggest thing I find too for attackers as well, especially when trying to enter in onto any site at all, it's like depending on which lane they go through, I find attackers more often than not, especially on Split, decide to just 4-stack and use just a rush down strategy.
Yeah,
it's like they all just slow play. They'll walk a little bit, they creep up, maybe try to bet on a util, and they see like, okay, like there's one layer, there's slow orbs, they wait it out, and then it's just gunning it all the way down. Whoever dies, that's whoever lives. As long as the spike goes down, that's what matters. That is just it. And then you just fight things out and hope you live. That's Split.
And that can be a viable way to attack on Split, right? If you're a team who has very disciplined and prepared executes, right? You can snowball that into a lot of solid attacking rounds. You flip which site you're going after, you get some mid control in there to throw the defending team off, and you can make that work. And I think you need to be able to execute sites as a team of 4 or 5 to make an attacking half decent on Split. The problem is if that's all a team can do is full send 5 players onto a site, and the defending team reads that and just interrupts it with the right utility, then you're done. Then you get basically no rounds on your attacking side. And then you got to move on the defense, and it becomes pretty difficult. Let's move on into Split, though, and see how our teams adapt. I'm already liking this composition from our defending team, from CSUMB. I think this defending comp is extremely smart. I maybe would have preferred the Astra instead of the Omen, but with the Paranoia, you get that extra flash in there. I'm not against it. You still have omnipresence with the smokes as well. It is a certainly acceptable choice.
I mean, I get it. Astra's like really hard to play, and you're like basically just leaving yourself open more often than not when you go up into Astra form and start to meditate. And honestly, Paul, who has time to read the map when you're playing exciting games of Valorant like that, bro? Just like going to click around. What I want to do is I want to be in the game at all times, which is why Omen, I think it's a fun time across the board. But I'm just saying semantics nonetheless. As there we go. There's all the lock-ins between these two teams. Ooh. I'm a big fan of Raze on this map because you were talking about all those tight angles that Raze nade can immediately shut down those fast pushes we were mentioning before.
Absolutely. Raze, Split and Bind are her best maps by a mile because of the timings that you can find with things like the paint shell. And also Raze makes a very good replacement for Jet, right? Which is what we saw Teen play on map number 1 of Breeze, because you can use Raze in a relatively similar fashion for the attacking side as well. You can double blast pack, you can create that entry opportunity, get up onto the high ground too to challenge on sites like A, right? You can run out A lobby, double blast pack up onto rafters, and suddenly you don't have control of A heaven, but it's better, it's closer to control or contested rather than it would have been otherwise. So love this pick from CSUMB. They're starting off on the attacking side as it was their map selection. The one worry I have is how they're going to get around Killjoy. I think Killjoy is 100% one of the best defending agents on a map like Split, especially. The nano swarms used properly in combination with things like the alarm bot and the turret for information stop a lot of those hard-hitting executes that we were talking about earlier.
And there we go. They're just rush down all the way through mid, except it's a 5-stack to start off though on that wall. It gives you a ton of information. They have 2 options here. But to see, like most common, they could decide to go with the rotate all the way down to A, going through ropes though, or they could still just try to rush in through heaven as they just knife down one wall after another. But I would recommend it. Like you said, ooh, he's all the way at the back. Well, that's interesting. Gold art, +1. There we go. Easy pickup to start it off.
Well, and CSUMB have no idea what they want to do now. They've lost all control toward A, but they haven't gotten in through B main. Going through mid is now extremely risky. They're going to smoke this off and try to clear out sewers.
Revealing area.
Maybe. Or are they? They look so nervous now. CSUMB, they're not sure where they want to go.
The push through sewers wouldn't be the worst idea. I would not want them to go through garage, considering that all the kills you took is just set up there. And that's the one thing about, you know, having flashers on your team, right? Because even if you kind of get stuck, you still have an option to be able to clear angles like this if you have something like a Sky or the Breach even. But instead they decide to rush in, right click down. There's Mortis go to one after another. There's a spike drop though, but 10 seconds left. They have to rush in. They gotta go in now. Okay. A little bit of taste of his own medicine. 8 seconds left. It is just one more person. Poetic, he just had barely enough time. I don't think he actually makes it. He drops it, but he dies. Yeah.
I hate the right click, Ravish.
I know.
Classic right click is the dumbest thing in the game. I can never get through a match of collegiate Valorant without seeing something dumb with the right click. That was just everybody rushing into A or into B heaven rather, and then it was like, all right. Time to fight with the right clicks? Yeah, let's see how these RNG fights go with the right clicks. Let's see who can random themselves into a headshot. I mean, I do have to give it to Sinister Fox, though. Excellent swing from Rafters there, contesting the several players in B Heaven. And at every turn, CSUMB on their pistol round, no matter where they wanted to go, there was somebody from Providence keeping them on their toes at the very least. Either, you know, when Captain Dugman like swung around through sewers and poked a little bit, when Gold Art found that one pick onto Teen, or when Sinister Fox swung out of Rafters, right? These little timings were very good from Providence. Now it's just going to be a full rush out of B main, it seems. Little do they know there's a Nano Swarm waiting for them, as well as Sinister Fox with a Spectre right there.
Right away, there we go. A nice little start for them. We're already Three of them put down one after another. As they just cornered Imp into garage. Spike's in their hands for now, but they have the layers as well. They try to wall themselves off and rushing through sewers to try to go in through A, but I'm sure they will read that pretty handily. Instead, okay, I don't mind this. Slow playing it, just to kind of fake it.
There's nothing that CSUMB can do here. This round's already basically written off. Sinister Fox with the quick contact there. That'll pull enough players over. There's no way CSUMB could contest. Even if they somehow got all the way to Sinister Fox, there's no way they could actually swing out onto the site because they're having control.
30 seconds
Now you're just going to get run down. And it's a flawless round.
Right click won't help you there now, will it? It's sadly so, but nonetheless, we were saying it before, they always get cornered up one after another in garage too, and considering so many that went down so early on. CSUMB, just like before, if they lose enough time right at the beginning, Providence can just run them over.
Providence got off to a strong start on their defensive side for Breeze too, though, and then quickly lost control of the situation. CSUMB, now they're going to be able to buy themselves some rifles. Their only job is to win this round and to do so with at least 3 players standing, immediately breaking the wall in mid, wasting no time on that one.
It's such a big dart that considering they have to know at this point that they're all literally right there, but they haven't committed to either site.
Yeah, it's the dart is nice for early info, but it doesn't give necessarily anything actionable for Providence. They're not going to rotate everybody over into mid, but look at Captain Dugman thinking about that Stewart's lurk again. This time one player is watching if he decides to commit to it. No, okay, he's coming all the way back around. The pick onto B will mean that he has to consider the early rotate to the other side of the site. What was that? That was Zotters just full sprinting, spraying through the smoke, and randomly finding a pick. That was gross.
Spectres are broken. They're the only gun in which you can like readily run and gun and still manage to get the kill every single time. I've seen it before, and the fact that I saw he gets the heal off still. They managed to get the kill finally on the back, and they take them all down as they get having control. And now it's a 3v2. Make that a 1 with just the Omen left. Providence look to finally give up the first round.
Good recovery here from CSUMB, and as long as they win this fight against Captain Dugman, they're going to get out with the 3 players necessary. Certainly looked more messy than I think that they were hoping for in that B main fight, but Baitlin with that excellent lurk through made it so it's not really much of an issue. Now, I mean, Dugman's very much done here. This is an almost impossible crossfire to fight yourself into.
Yeah, it's
almost got that first one though.
True, you're right. Nonetheless, and CSU only lost 2 players as well, so the econ shouldn't be too bad either. Maybe the next one, considering it was their bonus for this. So yeah, they're looking at it okay.
Gun round now. First full gun round for both of our teams. Although both teams have a couple players who are a little bit low to afford themselves full utility and armor alongside that rifle. Goldart going for the glass cannon operator. Goldart was a huge nuisance for CSUMB in a few of those first rounds with the operator. Oh, they don't expect it.
Yeah, just honestly, I wouldn't either, but considering this is classic Goldart. This is what he did before in hallway. This is what he's going to do now. Considering right in by ropes.
I can forgive that though. I can forgive CSUMB because you don't know if the op is like a Breeze specific thing on your Sova or if Goldart just likes to do that. Now for the rest of the game, they should know. Unfortunately, they didn't know that there was a judge standing right there. Team's gonna find that out the hard way, so we're left in a 3v4.
If they got 2 off of that, that would have actually been so disgusting, especially against CSUMB. I would have been on full tilt. Just immediately like op shot at the beginning, and they get a judge down on the back end of it. I'm done. Ooh, but they lose the arm. No, Goldart. I'd have missed a shot there. Not so like it's a 3v3. Although they don't necessarily have it control. But that Nerdle theft gives a little bit of information as to where they kind of position. Still 35 seconds. Nice. Yeah, for CSU.
Does Poetic have literally 1 health? I think Poetic has literally 1 health after that fight with Captain Dugman. Yeah, thank you very much, observers. Oh my word, exactly 1 health. So it's basically a 2v2 with an extra gun for CSUMB. Oh, this position, though, in heaven. Oh
no.
Couldn't quite get Sauters. But the problem is, you never have to swing that again if you're Nano Leaf. You just have to hold your ground in lobby.
Consider they walled off here to the more right now. It's really in a pretty disadvantageous spot. But they actually managed to get one off the back of it. Poetic with the 4K. No, unfortunately not. But there we go. Barely ready for the swing.
Solid round there from CSUMB. I like the moxie to actually go up mid despite losing Aqua Azul. Keep in mind, they lost Aqua Azul. Who is their smokes, primarily? I mean, Poetic can put up the cyber cages, but it's not the same as, you know, a dark cover from Aqua Azul. So they know that Gold Art is going to want to re-challenge that. Poetic feeling it that round. Yeah. Starts off with the kill onto the operator and then just mows onto the A site. Doesn't have any sort of problem. Great value. The Poetic's been pretty solid on both our maps thus far, I would say. Now we're tied up, and Providence, they're out of money.
Feels bad. I think they should have invested 401k a little bit. Maybe found a nicer compound interest plan that would have helped Mr. Fox maybe get a gun that would have wanted that trade. Nonetheless, right now, CSUMB boys are looking to do the exact same thing they did in Breeze so far.
And it is the exact same thing, right? Like, when we think about how Breeze went, the first couple of rounds went to Providence, but then CSUMB got a read on their defender positions and completely isolated that. Those fights don't go very well, but the same pattern emerges here. Providence, they are sticking to their guns in a lot of their positions. Gold Art especially, but like across the map, all 5 players are playing relatively the same spots every single time. Ooh, Hunter's Fury, that's ambitious.
Yeah, right by the spike too. Should be able to get one tag. There we go. They find one. So
no way.
So there's no health bars. Poetic yet again after almost no health, but doesn't even need it. Get the final pick. Nice little crossfire set up and woohoo! Almost at the swing.
Good effort from Providence, though. I gotta give them that, especially for Zotters and Gold Art. Gold Art with that Hunter's Fury. It was an inch away from getting 2 kills there, but splitting up at the very end, Poetic and Aqua Azul avoid that. What would have been a tragic flip for CSUMB. Instead, we do move on to another gun round. Gold Art has one more op. I'm expecting this time, CSUMB, please don't dry swing out into mid.
Now they're gonna dry swing out into mid. Ooh!
No, they don't. They actually put a smoke there. Unfortunately, nobody expected Zotters to play that. And this is a little bit of adaptation from Providence, right? Zotters hasn't gone for a spicy swing like that in early rounds on either map. So nobody expected that. Gets a nice little quick pick.
So they started the round off hot to the lair, not gonna find it, but more will eventually just back away as okay. They clear out Gorda yet again.
You will not kill my
looking to press up onto the B side. All the kill Jiu-Jitsu might be able to stop them. But if Mort manages to swing and gets one pick, that would immediately just shut them down. But instead, it'll force out the lockdown on the back end to just force them all off the site. But it's a matter of time. As okay, the front of the shadows used to plant on A.
Oh no, it's tragic. Oh, Aqua Azul was going for the cheeky plant, but had no info. No one clearing heaven. Dugman's not going to trade out for another. We're down to 35 seconds. But CSUMB should be able to get onto the site and plant.
And this time, hopefully behind cover, so it'll get shot while they're trying to plant. And it is just one member left yet again from Providence. This time, Killjoy not going to cut out on the back end, but Mr. Fox,
it all comes out in the wash. It comes out in the wash for Aqua Azul. Nothing to worry about, buddy. I wouldn't put that in the highlight reel, but at the end of the day, you win the round. That's what matters.
Exactly. Right. And you know what? That's what's called a highlight reel, right? Because you want to make sure that you look good at all times, even though we all have unfortunate moments like these. But the fact they managed to save the yacht, I find is still a really solid pickup nonetheless. And I don't think any of them will get caught up by the yacht. What?
That was a misclick. Tina, that was absolutely a misclick. Fireworks going up into the air. Oh, don't save the yacht. Oh, that's unfortunate for Sinister Fox. Either way, though, I do think it was a very solid round read from CSUMB. The second that lockdown gets used on B, you've already seen 3 players over there because even though there was a lockdown. 2 were contesting up into B heaven, so you run it onto A. Whether or not Aqua Azul teleports over and dies, maybe that could have been avoided, but the fact of the matter is you still had a strong enough pinch, and the rotates from Providence weren't able to make it quite in time because they weren't sure if it was going to be a re-hit B, if the From the Shadows was a fake or not. So they had to commit to their stance, and that left Captain Dugman vulnerable despite the 1 pick he gets on the opposing Omen.
This time, though, we see CSUMB would have been ready for the swing into Garage. Instead, it is essentially just a 3-stack. After looking at it as Zotzers getting a little bit abrasive with these. Oh, the swing goes right into the Paranoia.
I don't know if you
spotted
spotted
to left,
that.
he's caught up in the corner. He has to win this. Nice. Well done. Able to get out, though.
No way.
Of a judge. It's a Bucky. But the turret gets Teen instead. Shout out to AI, bro. Always make me proud.
And again, the early round hasn't gone well for CSUMB, so like we kind of saw in their pistol, they're just waiting to see if Friars will give him a freebie like this.
Yep.
Yep,
He
there's
will.
a freebie.
Not bad. Suddenly now we're down to 3v3. Besides, it's actually just open if they can somehow manage to get around and find the rain on the back end. But instead, they'll choose to force the way in, having in their control. But Zotters has to be cleared away. Baitlin wins this trade. Then the spike is
Not even close. Not even close. Don't worry about it.
We're all fine. Good tripwire gives the way, and Warren has to back out. And now suddenly we see Providence. They're kind of just they're kind of like Bruno Mars, just yelling that they're locked out of heaven.
Oh. Baitlin's in such a difficult spot right now, though.
He has to pick one place that he wants to try to swing or needs help for the other teammates. There we go. At least a 2-for-1 right now, and it's just Zotters left. He has the Empress if he feels like he can clutch this, but no leaders at all either. The spike is taken down. If he needed to make a move, it would have to be now. But I do not think he can actually really do this. Paul trying to go for the exits, but Nano better on the trade.
Baitlin truly living up to his name. Don't worry about that, CSUMB. They've won more than enough that they will continue buying rifles. Baitlin was truly living up to his name, though, because actually, while that spot is certain death for Baitlin, considering that Captain Dugman comes in from heaven and 2 players are coming in from defender spawn, right? The fact of the matter is, it actually synced well enough to where basically 2 out of the 3 retaking defenders were looking at Baitlin, and that opened up Poetic and Nanolize to trade Baitlin out 2-for-1. So an even better than just your standard retaking trade, it worked out on both of those angles and created an impossible situation for Zotters.
Speaking of Zotters, he gets caught up right away at the beginning, unfortunately. Just again with the abrasive swings that we know him to do.
Yeah.
Right up on heaven. Like, felt confident, but doesn't manage to get out of this one, sadly.
And we're back to an eco now, too, right? That it doesn't help here for Providence to actually pull this off.
I know exactly where you are.
Unfortunately not, though, but I find the North Africa is a little bit confident, too, considering they're already, like, up, like, what, 3 people, too.
Wait,
I think it's
somehow
nice.
Dugman has gotten control of the spike and a rifle.
Wait, how does all happen? He gets 2 Dogmen with a huge play, 8 health. He just has to play around this consistently. Everyone had a TP. No. Oh man, if he just stayed, they probably get it. And now it is just Goldar.
Okay,
But
this
he
is a
has to
winnable
know they're
round,
rushing
though.
out to the site. Oh my god, bro.
Definitely a winnable round, because what CSUMB are going to have to do is both of them have to go onto site and plant. That means Goldar can get all the way around, recover a rifle. It's difficult for him to come from this angle, though, because of both the camera and the trap wire stopping. Can you get over it? Wait, you can...
No.
Okay, nice. That's the point of the cam, right? To watch to see if someone was going to hop on over it. So they know where Goldar's coming from now. I don't think he can win this anymore.
Sadly, all that information given over, but yo, okay, I was about to say that almost didn't happen, but nonetheless, I'm just curious to see as how they lost control of the spike, because I saw they didn't actually have it beforehand, but some way, somehow, Captain Dugman with a very, almost heroic play.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to go back and look at the tape to see how Dugman got there, because at first I thought it was a From the Shadows, but my man has the From the Shadows now. So that clearly wasn't it. Did he go all the way around through defender spawn? Because that, or through attacker spawn rather? Because that would be hilarious. Either way, I mean, at least gets a lot of the guns away. So we still have quite a few rounds this half. Providence, they're going back to a gun round now. Oh, the timing there not quite working out with Gold Dart on the pick. Thought about recon darting and going for a swing. The slow orb's going to stop him from doing that. At least Zotter's trades won, though.
Like you said, Zotter's in the past 4 rounds has either gotten picked off at the beginning or gotten a pick right at the beginning. If you look at the pattern, so he's at 50% win rate.
And look at this adaptation from Providence on their defense. There has been absolutely zero pressure toward the A site. Not once has CSUMB actually gone on to A in the early round. So this heavy stack from Providence makes things difficult, but somebody's got to watch heaven, guys.
Nobody at
No
all.
way.
And Azul gets 2 here. Rule number 3 of Valorant: if you're reloading, stay undercover. Because look, sadly, when you're out of the open, you cannot do anything at all. And now with that, they managed to get a res off. And what was the round that was in CSUMB's favor? Completely switched up on his head. Has to get one. No, he has the knife out. Why? No, he thought he could get out. The slow orb.
Yeah.
Tragedy strikes again.
There.
30 seconds left.
But hey, they still have the spike.
I mean,
now could easily do this.
Even without the slow orb, that was always going to be a difficult situation for Poetic, just because of where Captain Dugman was, and this stack on B. Despite the fact that Aqua Azul definitely should not have gotten through heaven so easily, the res came through. They traded him out. It all comes out in the wash. Hopefully, as long as Nanolight doesn't do anything crazy. Early contact here. I don't know if they'll expect this.
He hears them. He knows they're there.
Nice.
No.
Nice.
Mort gets it first. Well done by him. Providence get a much needed round.
Mort one step ahead there, and Providence are now, I mean, I wouldn't say they're back in the driver's seat, but they at least have one hand on the wheel, economically speaking, right? They're going to be able to try and make this competitive. The fact of the matter is, this is a difficult half, even if they win the next 3, because on split, if an attacking team gets 4, you're pretty much shooting par. Getting 6? CSUMB, they could drop their spaghetti all over the next 3 rounds, and they would still feel good about this attack.
It reminds me of the vibe where the dude is coming up the stage. He's like, I almost dropped my croissant.
But that's like a situation where, like, you have to reimagine that as if he had like a second croissant on his plate. It's like, oh, I dropped my croissant, but I got another one. That's how CSUMB are feeling right now.
I love that. CSUMB right now. I really hope they have someone who's French so they can feel good about all the croissant comparisons that they were making. I'm sure they'd enjoy them. Zotters. Yet again. Okay. Versus the percentage. He gets the 2K.
Zotters was literally on 1 health on the last bullet that clipped the head of Nanolight there.
Extremely close. We said it before. Past 5 rounds, Zotters has opened it up, and his percentage is getting a lot better in terms of him being able to win out of these trades. It's just pure gunfight, so this double swing out of a CSUMB could be nice if they manage to find just one isolated target.
No,
but considering how spread out they are.
No,
that's
they
true.
got the info and they got the util they want out of that. Smoke, slow, or both committed. Still a decent amount of time in this round. I'd like to see CSUMB head to the other site, but Providence are thinking about that too. So, with Poetic in this position, if Poetic wins the gunfight here against Sinister Fox, there it is. They're going to pull... No, they're not going to pull back to B. They're going on to A with no information. No, the ops right here, but no, Providence, they've overthought it. They're just leaving. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Okay, all right, so now they're on A. Now they got the spike down. Now with Poetic here, he knows they're all coming here. Like, he has to at this point, because he has a little theft out and running away, and he has such a nice flank. Oh my god.
The timing here is everything, though. Providence should know it's 4v2 on site. They should go fast and loose. Just overwhelm the 2 players on site and then deal with Poetic later.
Poetic needs to get here faster. Needs to be a little bit faster on the charge, but he's going around a completely different path. He wants to join his team. But they're all cornered up onto the site. First swing, Billy gets 1. The second not gonna land. That was Ventura. Okay, Zotters with the 4K. Now Poetic has to save it. Extra 3. Can he get the 4? They both got to reload. It's one tripwire. He has to go for this. There's no time at all. He's just sticking it. He turns. He swings. He lives. They're both gonna die to the spike. Okay. Poetic clutches.
That was a silly, silly, silly round of Valorant Ravage. That round got, once we hit the 40-second mark, all bets were off. We had a crazy run all the way to A, but it was going to go into the entirety of Providence. Poetic finds a beautiful lurk kill, which baits Providence. Like, poor Providence, man, they're basically doing like sprints back and forth on the court that round across the sites. Oh, man. Running themselves ragged, and now it's another round for CSUMB and Providence. They didn't build up nearly enough economy to put 2 gun rounds on the board in a row.
Man, I think if you get 8 rounds in this half attacking on split, you effectively have 3 croissants. You can open up a bakery with that. And CSUMB are looking to do exactly that.
Ravish, this metaphor works perfectly because there's 13 rounds to win a map in Valorant. It's a baker's dozen.
Yeah, you right, bro. So they can now, so they're this close. So they're now required 50%
They're half a dozen off a baker's dozen. Yeah. Oh, Captain Dugman getting 2 though. That's a pair.
All right, so that is indeed a pair, like you said. Still, they can actually get 2 back to get a pair of their own. No, we're getting a full house in between them. So there's 3 for the 3 as they look towards B. But oh, looky here, Paul. Look what I see. An Omen does beseech me.
Wow, we went from like silly bakery to like you performing like a Shakespearean soliloquy. I like it. Complete change of pace. I mean, we need a change of pace for Providence here. 3v3, they don't really have much in terms of firepower. What? That's a nice spray transfer from team.
That's a hard word to say. Like 5 times fast, hold on. It appears as though I'm being abducted by aliens outside. But
what?
Can you say spray
Ravish,
transfer 5 times fast?
Ravish, we're letting this get away from us here. The point is, Zotters is gonna save a gun here. And we're gonna move on to the last round of the half. Providence will be able to buy, but they this half has just been so difficult. Wow, team just does not care, huh?
Spray transfer. That is hard to say, actually.
Team got that 2-piece and then like turned off his monitor on the site though.
Yeah, mama. Yeah, I mean, he has so much money. I really don't think it really matters, right? It's like he's so uncomfortable going into the last round of the half. They have full eco across the board. But one thing I want to pay attention to is that all these ultimates that are currently online, and especially right now for Goldart, if he gets the early initial pick and maybe even just 2 to start off, that Haunter's really could be such a game-changing potential. But I'm speculating.
How could Goldart ever get this opening pick, though? I mean, it's the same position with this operator over and over again for him. Yeah, immediately. Smoke. Boom. You're going to have to use the recon dart here early. Defending wall even goes up to prevent that. Even if you get info with the recon dart, it's not going to get you anything except an extra half second of time in mid.
Fair enough, yeah. They've just been shutting down. Haha, aha. See what I say? Smoke dissipates. He manages to get the opening pick here, Paul. And so now suddenly, it seems like my theory is being a little bit more plausible as he gets smoked off yet again, though, but the character dug him on the back. On the back side. But this is a good lockdown.
Uh-oh. Oh, Awkward was about to get bodied. Oh, no. Actually, somehow wins that fight against Saucers. Goldart's come around for the rotate, though. And I was expecting Goldart to go for the long angle from screens, posting up in A lobby. Providence, though, they're just going to stick together. They expect it to be a re-hit onto B site, but instead, CSUMB, they'll just skip on into A.
This yet again here, like you said, they're just like kind of overthought it a little bit more. As teen, thought there might have been at least one person is hiding up on the back end instead. But find nobody. Release the spike will go down as of right now. 3v4 right now onto the site. I would love to see CSUMB spread themselves out a little bit if you can at least have one person watching heaven or like even the back end of heaven. But still, instead, they're all just chill, watching every angle possible. They find one more gets that. That was impressive.
Gotta clear hell. Gotta clear hell. Teen is the make or break here for this retake.
There's a big hunter's fury, like I said, but the fact he managed to get it, gets one more out of it. That's why he's 2v2. He has the off shot. Bailey was big, like you said, Teen. Staying safe and getting the final 9-3 in this attacking half on split for CSUMB. Adios, meal.
I will say for CSUMB, I think that they're gonna need a different name for their bakery, right? Because CSUMB, just doesn't make. I mean, I guess you could change the last word to bakery, so then like it still works. But California State University Monterey Bakery, it just doesn't. It feels too wordy for a shop, you know. Either way, CSUMB are feeling great. They're moving on to the defense for split now. I mean, I would argue this is. I mean, at least when we look at Teen, this is going to be where Teen comes alive on this defense, presumably. Interesting position for him right now, actually putting the Rays in vent to start off with. Mid control is a little bit of a struggle to get in terms of deep mid control for Teen, especially now that Teen is just completely smoked off. But, I mean, the wall is just going to go up. Teen can now play pretty much wherever he wants. Oh, hello.
Okay, all right.
That's rude. That's just mean. Oh, it goes right past him.
Wait, he just... Stop it.
We're playing hopscotch here. Come on, guys. Teen can go up on the wall.
Hops over the wall. He's still trying to right-click this. I mean, he sees like at least two of them there. So they know he's put in the position. He's still trying to go over the right-click. Guys, stop it. Please, you don't run out of bullets.
Okay, the wall is about to go down, though, right? We're over 40 seconds into this round, and Zotter's with a nice pick onto Poetic.
Still manages to get it, almost dies. There you go. There's the wall that goes down. And Teen stays alive through all of it. Does not have the grenade though, but if he manages to enter in, he could be big. That's one, that's two. They don't see him. That's three. How did he get three off of the back of that? The grenade never attack anybody up. Swings. Okay, Zoters cleans him up. That's 2v2 spike in their hands. But both of them not with the greatest of health bars. This shorty is going to be fun if it actually works out.
Aqua Azul can pick up one of the billion guns that was dropped in mail, too, right? Like, if you don't want this, yeah, there's going to be classics, presumably a ghost somewhere. So this 2v2 is super winnable for CSUMB, especially considering how low Captain Dugman is.
There's no way you can right-click from that far, right? It's just not possible.
Ooh, you can left-click, though. That's a headshot right there.
Not remember to put out. If Antelope actually managed to get assist, at least put a heal on up, but the smoke... More Carly, one more person left. 1v1 from the two different omens. He's checking the back and swings to the wrong side. Captain Dogman and Providence start off that first pistol. Nice.
I gotta give. Okay, so there's a bit of a carrot and stick here in this round for Providence. The carrot I gotta give to Captain Dugman. Right, great smokes at the very end there. Keep in mind. It's pistol round. It's low utility. CSUMB, they don't have things like the paranoia or too many leers to actually get out of smoke. So the smoke heaven and then the much more shallow smoke basically on top of the spike makes it so difficult for the re-entry from CSUMB. The stick was, you got to watch those smokes in mid, guys, next time. Oh, that's just... Bruh. He's sticking around, too.
He could get one more off of this. He could easily if they decide to actually peek it. Yeah. But they are smart in this. Shout out to them. But he could pick up Reina's gun.
No, I think it was recovered, actually, by Goldart.
Oh.
That's what he was looking for, though. Aqua Azul wanted that Spectre, but I think what Providence did was they had only 4 players buy Spectres this time. Oh.
My ultimate is not ready.
Instead, just put down the little molly just to make sure they can't follow them, but they know they're all going through sewer. So, minutes to try to get there on the back end of Teen. You manage to get one off of this and just catch them on the cross. Could be really nice, though, but they're all just watching the angle. Teen staying safe. For now, as Dark was put out as it should be. They should have just rush heaven. Ooh, they get spotted by him. There we go. Rushing heaven. On my person. We're taken down. This is an easy spike plan.
Oh. Again, guys, that smoke and vent. You really gotta have somebody watching it. That's the second time Teen has just walked out like that. And oh no.
There's not on heaven either. They haven't
just have
planted
to push at the same time.
Yeah, they're just all falling like dominoes. Okay, he tracks him across the sky, but Nanolith will make sure that he dies. And he recovers a Spectre. 10-4 here, Paul. Wow. Okay.
I can't believe Teen swung out that same smoke in mid and got another pick off it. I can't believe that. Oh, that's tragic. Providence, despite winning the pistol now, they're broke. It's going to be more or less a full gun round here from CSUMB. Aqua Azul has just been a little gremlin on this defender side with shotguns. Not going to stop now either. I've never thought about it, actually, but, like, Omen with a judge on a lobby is ridiculous, right? Because not only do you get the smokes, you get to play in and around, but also the paranoia works out pretty well if you want to get a little bit more aggressive. I'll tell you what doesn't work well, though. Running out into a one-way cyber cage when Poetic is watching it.
Yeah, he can see your legs, so my man just yell, yo, give me them toes, and gets down too.
Wow, I hated that. Thanks.
Instead, like you said, so Providence now have locked themselves a little bit of a corner, and they're looking a little bit like CSUMB in the previous half, right? Not too sure where to go.
I think it's even more difficult now for Providence, though, because whereas CSUMB, generally they had like some mid control, they could have gone other places. Providence, they're just stuck here. They're absolutely stuck. They're gonna try and hit onto the B site, and when they do, they're probably gonna die really bad. There's 2 trap wires here, a cam to tag them, heaven control for CSUMB, better weaponry. Providence are about to slam their head into a wall.
As looks to be the XQ as a duck is put out right away. Sister Fox enters in.
30 seconds left.
But I don't think he can get this. As Fox swings up, he dies. Okay, that was unfortunate. So does Balin.
Hello?
Okay, suddenly things are looking to be a lot more up on a Providence side. That's at least one AR for them. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. And of all people, to end off that round, I did not think it'd be a sword.
It was. I think Aqua Azul kind of lucked into that one. I'm gonna be honest, because he came out defender spawn, and Goldart was trying to go for the deeper plant on site, right, like under rafters. If you plant default there, I don't think Aqua Azul gets those 2 picks as easily. But he smoked off back site and then swung, and Goldart's then in close range against a judge. I don't know. You really can't win that. It's not on Goldart to actually take that fight. Now Goldart's going to have the attacking operator. It's 4-11 here, folks. We need... Are they just going to post up Goldart to watch for teens swinging out of this smoke? I wouldn't hate that, honestly.
No, not a bad idea. It's just like, I mean, everybody needs to have a job. As Captain Dugman dies, unfortunato.
Yeah, now the real problem is that what they're trying to do is bait teen out of vent here, but 2 players contesting so quickly in heaven, Providence don't get the control that they want.
Wall's about to fall. Sees one cross, but you said 2 already ready here, and as more gets down, 1 more. They could try to rush it onto heaven as they just use that layer, but they have to get 1 first. They have to at least get 1. As if both leaders are used, and don't win. Okay, they get 1. They can rush on, run in. Poetic somehow gets that, stays alive through all of it. If he gets this will be disgusting, but he survives.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Just out of there. At least Sinister Fox does pick up Nanolithe, who was coming through vent. So now there's options. They're going rather loudly through vent. Oh no. You! Bruh!
1 more.
He's just gonna smoke it. He's just gonna smoke it. There's nothing that you can do here.
Bro, I feel like, when you're farming with NASA, it's just like a bonk. Just immediately.
Ravish, I've casted a lot of Collegiate Valorant, especially in the last few weeks. I cannot get through the day without saying what I'm about to say, which is one day, we will get a singular day on broadcast for Collegiate Valorant that makes a degree of sense. That day is not today.
That day is not today. So many of these rounds, I left myself either laughing or puzzled, but nonetheless, what I am, Paul, is entertained, which I hope everybody watching is as well. You sit, ooh, I believe managed to get a little bit of a clip on the back end. There's still 1-for-1 trade. Won't result in much. Instead, you go, there's the op shot.
Down A.
They're making a 3-2. And with that judge down, As he wins it, the next swing not only cleans him up, but they have the res down. There's one person left for CSUMB. A lot of low health bars. He's more. If you can get more here too, that would be easy 1-for-1. Instead, they'll just choose to rotate out and try to come in for the site. Right in from the entrance as they get walled off. Okay, I like this a lot.
You just have to play together. Just play together. Trade this 1-for-1. Providence, keep in mind, this is their last chance to come back in this series. They have to win 8 rounds in a row. Oh, and no, and they let Baitlin isolate the first. Sinister Fox on the close angle. Only 9 bullets in Baitlin's clip. Look at the
looking.
Look at the
He's not looking. He's not looking. He's not. Oh! What? 3 bullets.
Plenty of time.
He got the reload. He knows. He knows. He swings. He gets it. Baitlin. What? Bro.
There we go.
How did he win that last round? Well, that means that CSUMB off that clutch. Take the 2-0 up against Providence and are still undefeated in the ECAC.
What? That last round was how to best describe it. I'm gonna steal. You're Canadian. You should appreciate this. I'm stealing a Canadianism from my good friend LaFawn. It was a gong show. I believe that's what you call it in Canada. What an insane whirlwind in that last round. Providence I have to give them credit, right? I liked their strategy coming into it. They wanted to go for a hard-hitting execute, but they didn't want anyone actually looking at them. So they do a deep fake smoke into a heaven and then have their Omen use the From the Shadows to bait like he was going into that smoke. There were 4 players watching that smoke in a heaven. Providence got a little bit of a lead off that, but couldn't quite convert it into actual heaven control. So at the end of the day, like we were saying coming into this map, if you can't control heaven and you go for those plants, it just leaves too many variables on the table. At the end of I got to give huge props to CSUMB. This is the first time I've gotten to see them play. They looked pretty dang good.
I think that's really the only one way to describe it. If you don't control heaven, you'll be sent to heaven. And as CSUMB is like, doing a fantastic job, as I believe we all queued up for an interview with one of the CSUMB players. But while we go ahead and queue up for that here, CSUMB, I find like with the way they played,
yeah,
it was like, in a word, although impressive, it was fun. Like,
it was fun, right? It was a bit of controlled chaos. Is the way I would put it. Things like, teens swinging out of smokes that nobody's watching at the perfect time to get ridiculous kills. You can go all the way back to Breeze. Talk about Baitlin. I think Baitlin and Poetic had phenomenal series as individuals, right? Finding excellent timings onto the enemy from cheeky corners. Baitlin especially, a very cheeky player with the individual positioning and just catching the enemy team off guard. That little bit of doubt, that seed of doubt that you can put into an enemy's brain, that can come up with the difference. Oh, I'm not sure if he's going to be in this close corner, or if he's going to be all the way across. It gives you that little bit of I don't know which way I'm shooting, and Baitlin took advantage of that every single time.
Yeah, and what we're going to do is we're taking advantage of a small little break and on the back end of it. We will hear from one of the players from CSUMB. So y'all don't go nowhere. We'll see you in a little bit. Watching you. Stay right there. Stop. Don't move. Eyelids open. Stay right there. I don't want you to move a single inch. Stop it.
Everything.
Jeez, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broken, I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broken, I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind and the cause is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Jeez, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind and the cause is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back yet again. We do have an interview on the line with my main man, Poetic, coming in from CSUMB, hot off that win. So we should be able to hear from him in 3, 2, 1. All right, I almost timed that perfectly. But Poetic, what's up, bro?
How you guys doing?
Pretty gosh darn good. I imagine you're definitely feeling yourself after that win. So I'm gonna go ahead and start right off. Okay. I asked a little bit about the judge, though, but I did see a little bit of that Guardian play. So just to kind of get your feelings on it, I think, which do you think right now on your ecos or like on Raz, we're not feeling too good, which I'll be more open to just take it every single time? The judge, the Guardian.
I think the Guardian's not a big plan. It's not a big part of our plan for us. The judge is just kind of broken. It needs to be nerfed. You know, it's kind of, and we'll keep abusing it until it doesn't, until it gets nerfed. So, you know, that's definitely our go-to. You know, one of our players definitely favors the judge, but he's really deadly with it, like on any round, regardless. So, you know, you saw even on our buy rounds,
we
like
noticed
he's using it, and there's, you know, there's no reason to change anything. You know, it's a broken gun. We're gonna abuse it.
I mean, makes perfect sense, right? Though, but quick question I would ask you on the back end of that too. So, at the beginning of the pistol rounds, right, that you saw both on Breeds and also coming to Split as well, y'all, I find faltered a little bit, but immediately picked it back up. So, what were some of like the comments or adaptations like when y'all thought like, hey, you know what? Let's stop all this. Let's not messing around and let's pick things up.
I think a big part for us really was just kind of getting adjusted to the ping. At first, it was a little rough, you know, and that's not to make an excuse. You know, everyone, as even as a playing field as can be, but definitely at first there was a bit of an adjustment that needed to be made. And I think once that was made, we were able to get a little comfortable. We had strats ready. And really, you know, we're going to keep executing. We had things planned. You know, we have our audibles in check. But it was, again, I think it was just really like settling into our own. And then once that was able to, you know, to happen, I think from there we just got the ball rolling and we're good.
Nice. Well, and then I want to talk about what you guys maybe feel is more so your comfort zone, right? We saw somewhat, I don't want you to give too much away here. I'm not asking for the strat book on stream, but you know, we saw two very different looks, I would say, for the most part. Do you feel that was more so because just, you know, Breeze and Split are widely different maps, or do you feel confident that your team is a flexible team that can pull out a variety of looks across all maps in Valorant?
I think a lot of it has to do with my team being willing to trust me, you know, to make certain calls and make certain audibles in certain times. And, you know, I don't take that trust for granted. I make sure, you know, to do my part in studying, you know, everything I can as far as like different strats that are coming up that I'm seeing, and whether that's like pro players, you know, rank things that I like pick up on, you know, and then again, just my team being willing to trust me and make those calls. I think that's, you know, we're definitely flexible, but you know, we're a team that, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know, and we'll keep working from there. And then from there, we make the audibles because, you know, again, if my team's willing to trust me, I think if we feel confident about our ability to get the win in any round.
Sure, fair enough. Well, I mean, you've gotten a couple wins already here in ECAC. It's certainly off to a good start in the season for y'all, but I do have to ask you guys, is there anybody you guys have your eye on as top of the line competition, or do you feel you're going to comfortably walk over any opponent like you did today?
I mean, we don't really look at that. We're just trying to do what we can for ourselves.
There you go. All right, fair enough.
You know, and then the playing field is wide open. You know, kind of tough to be able to scout teams. You know, all over the place. You know, it's really hard. So we do what we can. You know, and then again, going back to that trust that we have as a team amongst each other, I think that's really like our selling point. You know, it's up to everybody to we're a team to watch out for.
Love it. Love it. Love a team that their primary attribute is how confident they are in their other teammates. That sort of synergy gets you miles.
Yeah, definitely.
1,000%. As a final question from me to me is just classic stuff. Just like, Doc, so any final things you want to get across or shout outs that you want to give to anybody else as well?
I mean, shout out to all my team. You know, that they're all cracked out of their minds. You know, they're awesome people. You know, shout out to CSUMB. You know, we're hoping, a smaller school, kind of unknown. We're hoping that maybe we can make some noise to keep this thing going. And at the very least, have some fun, and just grow as teammates. That's what we're hoping for.
Sure. You guys look like you were having fun today. Well, thank you so much, Poetic, for not only this great interview, but a great match. It was certainly fun for us here in the caster desk, and I hope we get to see more of you throughout the season, dude.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you.
Well, yeah, beautiful stuff here. Now, Paul, I believe this is going to be the end of the day here for us today. I got to say, I had an absolutely fantastic time. You guys did great Valorant, but remember here, friends, this is the ECAC. We do have more coming at your faces tomorrow. We do have Rocket League right here, same time, same place, with 2 more fun faces and some more great games that you will not want to miss. So, all that being said, I want to thank you all for being by my side. Big shout out to production, as well as Colton, the cool schools, for making us look good the whole day. And you all for watching. I've been Ravish Gravish, most Ravish man on the internet. Yeah, have a good night. Peace.
Back when I was broken, I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch ahead. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head. What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.